I crashed my sister's wedding after 11 years. Seconds later, every guest froze when they learned. I hadn't seen my sister in 11 years. Not since the night she told me to leave and never come back. I remember standing in the doorway with a backpack, no money, no plan, while she closed the door behind me and said, "Don't embarrass us anymore." My parents didn't stop her. They watched in silence. After that, I disappeared. New city. New name. New life. So when I stood outside the wedding venue more than a decade later, invitationless, wearing a simple black suit, my hands were shaking, not from fear, but from memory. I wasn't there for revenge. I was there because I had to be. Inside, music played softly. Guests laughed. Crystal glasses clinked. My sister, radiant in white, stood at the altar, smiling like nothing had ever been broken. No one noticed me at first. I took a seat in the back row. Then my sister's eyes met mine. Her smile vanished. She froze mid-step. The officiant cleared his throat. "Is everything okay?" Whispers spread through the room. My sister leaned toward my parents in the front row. I saw panic ripple across their faces as they turned around and saw me. My mother's hand flew to her mouth. My father stood up halfway, then slowly sat back down. Someone near me whispered, "Who is that?" Before anyone could answer, the wedding coordinator rushed toward me. "Sir, this is a private event," she hissed. "I'm going to have to ask you to leave." I stood up calmly. "I will," I said. "Right after I say one thing." My sister shook her head violently. "No," she mouthed. But it was too late. "I'm not here to ruin your wedding," I said, my voice steady but loud enough to carry. "I'm here because 11 years ago, I was erased from this family. And today, the truth finally catches up." Gasps echoed through the hall. My sister stepped forward, trembling. "You have no right to be here." "You're right," I replied. "I don't. But neither did you, when you lied." The groom looked confused. "What is he talking about?" My sister's face drained of color. My parents stood up now, both speaking at once. "This isn't appropriate," my mother cried. "Please, let's handle this privately." I reached into my jacket. "I would have preferred that too," I said. "But you left me no choice." Every eye followed my hand. I stayed away for 11 years because I promised myself I'd never come back unless I could tell the truth without begging. The room was completely silent. "My name is on your marriage license," I continued. "Because legally, I'm not just your brother." The groom frowned. "What does that mean?" I looked straight at my sister. "It means this wedding can't continue," I said quietly. And in that moment, every single guest froze. The silence didn't break all at once. It shattered. The groom stared at my sister like he was seeing her for the first time. "What did he mean?" he asked slowly. "Why would your brother's name be on our marriage license?" My sister opened her mouth, then closed it again. Her hands shook as she gripped her bouquet. My mother rushed forward. "This is a misunderstanding," she said loudly, smiling too hard. "He's confused. He's always been emotional." I let out a short laugh. "Still trying to erase me, Mom? After 11 years?" The guests were no longer pretending to look away. Phones came out. Whispers spread like wildfire. The officiant stepped back. "Until this is clarified, I can't continue the ceremony." My sister finally spoke. "You weren't supposed to come," she hissed. "You promised you'd stay gone." "I did," I replied calmly. "Until I got a call from your lawyer." That landed. The groom's head snapped toward her. "Lawyer?" I reached into my jacket again and pulled out a folded document. 3 months ago, when you applied for your marriage license, my name flagged the system. I unfolded the paper slowly. Because 11 years ago, when you kicked me out, I continued, you forged my signature. Gasps rippled through the hall. You used my identity, I said, locking eyes with her. To clear your debt. To keep the house. To protect your image. My father's face went gray. The groom took the paper from my hand, reading faster and faster. This says you were listed as a cosigner, he said. As a guarantor. I never agreed, I said. But my name has been tied to her finances ever since. My sister started crying. I was desperate, she sobbed. I had no choice. You always had a choice, I replied. You chose me as the sacrifice. The groom stepped back, running a hand through his hair. You told me your brother cut the family off. That he disappeared because he was irresponsible. I nodded. That story worked well for them. My mother grabbed my arm. Please, she whispered. Not here. I gently pulled away. You chose here when you lied for over a decade. Security hovered near the doors now, unsure who to remove. The officiant cleared his throat again. Legally, this ceremony cannot proceed until all discrepancies are resolved. The groom handed the document back to me, his hands shaking. Is there more? He asked quietly. I met his eyes. There's a lot more. Then I turned back to my sister. I didn't come for revenge, I said. I came because this wedding is built on a lie, and lies collapse. My sister dropped her bouquet. Petals scattered across the floor like something broken beyond repair. And I realized. This wasn't just the end of a wedding. It was the beginning of the truth catching up to everyone who thought I'd stay silent forever. The wedding never resumed. Guests were quietly ushered into the lobby while the officiant suspended the ceremony indefinitely. The music stopped. The fairy lights dimmed. What had been planned as a celebration turned into a waiting room of whispered questions and shock. My sister sat in a chair near the altar, her veil discarded, mascara streaking down her face. The groom stood across from her, arms folded, saying nothing. My parents approached me together for the first time in 11 years. You could have handled this privately, my father said, his voice shaking. I met his eyes. You had 11 years to handle it privately. Police arrived, not in handcuffs, but to document statements. The lawyer I'd contacted weeks earlier joined us. Every forged signature. Every hidden account. Everything was laid out calmly and professionally. My sister's excuses collapsed under the weight of facts. The groom removed his ring and placed it on the table. I can't marry someone who built our life on someone else's ruin, he said quietly. He walked away without looking back. My sister sobbed openly now. My mother tried to comfort her, but even she looked defeated. Later, outside the venue, my sister finally spoke to me directly. Why now? She whispered. Why today? I answered honestly. Because today you were about to start a new life, using the damage you did to mine. I handed her one last envelope. Inside were the legal terms, release of my identity, restitution, and a signed statement clearing my name. This ends today, I said. For both of us. She nodded, broken. I walked away before she could say anything else. Months later, the legal case closed quietly. My name was cleared. My credit restored. The lies erased. I didn't reconnect with my parents. Some distances are earned. But I did gain something I'd lost a long time ago, my voice. I didn't crash my sister's wedding for revenge. I came to reclaim the truth. And once the truth walked in, everything built on lies froze in place.